Here we go, kid.
Start anywhere that I can make up 52. If you want me to redo it, because I didn't finish it.
Gosh, I'll have to think about that. At what point, Owen, are we going to just do our work and not worry about it? These are the things that I wonder. Let us get this thing done. Clay, and if I could interrupt your reading, I think this will be the time when we correct. Is that all right? Can we do that? If I could interrupt somebody's whistling, this would be the time when we correct. So, Dio, was that you? Was that you whistling? Somehow that doesn't surprise me. Oh, here we go. Ready? This was 9A, correct? So 40 and 40 were the first answers. 40 degrees would be answers to number 1. 2 is $22.33. $22.33. 3 is 18. 3 is 18. 4 is 16 blue marbles. 16. 5, Sophia Okapal is 2/5, did you say? 2/5. 6, Kate Stone, 8 edges. 8 edges. Number 7 has 2 answers. Chase, they are 0.08 and 2/25. Number 8, Harper Gilman. Inches cubed. 648 inches cubed. 9, Suze. 208 inches squared. 208 inches squared. 10, Clay.
I have 186,000.
186,000. 186,000. Number 11, C, student work. I have y equals 2x. I'm not sure. What is the question for number 11? What is number 11? Number 11. Number 11. Oh, yeah. Somebody double something. Sure, why not? You should have a table there, I guess. Is that what it is? Make a table. Number 12 should be Lizzie Himes. 94.2 I have, which is what you said, 94.20. 13, Carrie Dixon. 28.26. 14, Cora. You have 8?
Yeah.
The answer for that one is the square root of 34. The square root of 34. It's irrational at best. Kinley, how about number 15? I have 4 sevenths. 4 sevenths. 16, Had Hop. Yeah, but we don't put plus minus. Plus minus just is minus. When you add a negative or when you subtract a positive, it's just minus. It should be negative 3x minus 6. 17, everyone says, is... Wow. I'm not sure everybody said something. One more time.
0.
Well, it's 0 is the answer. 18 is negative 1. 19, Riley.
6x cubed y squared.
Correct. 6x cubed y squared. And Zach will tell us that number 20 is 1 7/12, or I have 19/12, which is the same thing. Just now, questions over answers first, and then we'll get to the how do you do's after the answers. Joe? $22.33. $22.33. Kinley?
What was number 1?
40 and 40. Kels?
What was
11 was y equals 2x. You had to make your own table. So, Michael?
What was
6x cubed y squared. Cora?
What was 80?
8 is 648 inches cubed. Now, deep breath, please, because we're about to go on a roller coaster, a virtual whirlwind of a mathematical adventure. Martinez.
What was 1?
40 and 40. Chase. I would love to do number 17. Remember, again, ladies and gentlemen, you aren't allowed to take notes that you can use for tomorrow. I will not. You cannot use your pre-test though as your notes. You have to write them down as we go along here. Looking at number 17, ladies and gents, something to understand, first of all, is that a fraction bar is a glorified grouping symbol. Basically, you have to think about this. You need to simplify the top down to one number, the bottom down to one number, and then do the division from there, or the simplifying from there. And let's start with the bottom because that's the easiest. It's just a simple multiplication. 3 times 4 is... you must not have heard me. Simple multiplication, 3 times 4 is, and 2 negatives means it's negative times a negative is a positive 12. So there's your bottom. Any issues on that? Now the top has actually got 2 parts to it because remember, the thing you're always looking for are the addition and subtraction signs that are not in parentheses because those separate the problem into 2 addition sort of problems. So here you have this, which is just a negative 12. And here you have minus a negative 3 times 4. Well, how many negative signs do you see there? 2. So that's actually going to change that into 12, or a positive. And 3 times 4 is 12. So on top you have a negative 12 plus 12. They're opposites. When you combine them, you end up with nothing. You get a 0. And 0 divided by 12 is 0. Now, please understand, you can't have a 0 on the bottom of a fraction, but it can be on the top. Always on the top. You can always divide by a 0 by a number, but you can't divide a number by 0. Unless it's 0. 0 divided by 0 is some sort of strange, whatever thing there. Wow. Did I do something wrong? Because sometimes. Michael! Number 19, ladies and gentlemen. People of all ages. Maybe what would help you, first of all, there's no adding or subtracting sign, so this is all multiplication, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it would help you to write it out like this. Okay, this is 3 times x times x squared, times y, and that's getting multiplied by 2 times x times y. 3 times 2 is 6. How many x's do you see getting multiplied together? 3 of them, so it's x to the third. How many y's getting multiplied? 2, so that's y squared. Another way to think about it is you could put ones up there, I suppose, for the exponents of those. When you multiply bases that have, numbers that have bases together or whatever, you add their exponents. 2 here plus 1 there is my 3. 1 plus 1 is my 2. Numbers times the number is 6. Ooh. Oi. Bay. That one goes up like that. Parlez vous, France. Hey. Megan. Number 13. You obviously drew the circle. Somewhat like that. And the diameter was 6 feet. Yeah. How many square feet is the table, which they're asking you the area of? What's the formula for the area of the circle? Area equals pi times radius times radius. They said to actually use this for pi. 3.14. What is the radius, Meg? Is that 3? Now, sometimes people get confused because they see that word about and they think that means that you can estimate or round, but that's not the case with this. Why did they use the word about in this case? They use the word about because pi is already a rounded number. So you can never ask exactly what its area is because 3.14 is the rounded number of that 3.1592653 whatever. So when they use the word about, it's because they can't say it's exactly because that is not an exact number. So basically, Megan, you're just taking 3.14 times 9. Did I read the wrong answer for that? 6, 12, 128.26. Feet squared.
Yes, yes.
How about Grace Homerding?
You know.
Last I checked, I could. But that was when I was a younger person, so no. 9, somebody, 9. The outside surface of a cereal box. What is the print area of a box? What are they asking you for on this, by the way? Print area means, ladies and gentlemen, somebody said it out there, I could hear it. Surface area. Did you draw the box? It is 7 inches. Here's your cereal box. 7 inches by 2 inches by 10 inches. And again, it is nothing more, ladies and gents, than a rectangular prism. How many sides does this rectangular prism have? 6. It's got a front and a back. That would be this. Here's your front and there's a back just like it. It has a top and a bottom. And it has a right side and a left side. I suppose I should say. It's 10 by 7 by 2. Looking at the front, children, what is the area of this front? 10 times 7 is, everybody now, 70. The back will also be 70. They're the same shape. Gracie, what is the top? It is a 2 by 7 rectangle, so the top is 14. The bottom would also be 14, they're the same one. And then, Grace, the right side over here is a 2 by 10, which is 20. Add all those together and you have your surface area. 20 and 20 is 40. 70 and 70 is 140, so that's 180 plus 28. 208 would be my, whatever that is, inches squared, surface area. So probably for tomorrow on problem number, box number 9, did I do something wrong? You'd say surface area. Do you rate those?
Can you do number 1?
Number 1. First things that I must there's a few things you must understand about triangles on this one. First one, isosceles means what, Gavin?
It has 2.
2 equal sides. And the second thing you need to understand about triangles is that all angles add up to 180 degrees. The other thing, I suppose there's a third thing. What else must you need to know about triangles in order to get this problem? There's one more thing you need to know, particularly about isosceles triangles. In isosceles triangles, not only are 2 sides equal, Zach, but yeah, the opposite angles of those sides are equal. So if they tell you that one side is 100 degrees, that has to be the side that's not an equal side. Why? Because if it was one of the 2 equal sides, two 100s equals 200 degrees, and a triangle cannot have 200 degrees. So your triangle would have to look like this. The 100-degree angle would have to be the one that's not part of the two equal sides. So you need to know if there's 180 degrees, I take away the 100 degrees I know, I'm left with 80 degrees. And those 80 degrees have to be split into two equal angles. Hence the reason cut 80 in half, you get 40 degrees and 40 degrees. A little geometry for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Thoughts on that? Good. Owen, do you actually have a question here? Love it, yes.
Can you do number 8?
It's 18 high, 12 wide. It really looks like a cereal box. Wow. It is 3 by 12 by 18. What's the formula for volume of boxes? Right, you tell me you did L times W times H and did not get it right?
Yes.
3 times 12 times 18, I don't know. I would do the 3 times 12 first. What's 18 times 36? Maybe I just read the answer wrong. 108 and 24 and 2. 648? Is that not the answer? No? Is that right?
Yeah.
What did you get when you?
I was told it was 680.
Oh, you were told by Megan?
I didn't say, you looked at my face.
You said
Huh. Hopkins. 2. Number 2. 2. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Hadley, did you multiply these together? Because that's what you have to do. So you're saying you have a trouble multiplying kind of thing here? Let's do it. 2.189 times 10.2. Right? You did that and did not get the right answer? Oh, do I still need to do this for anybody? You're just gonna have to round to the nearest cent, because this is gonna give you a long, crazy answer. Let's do it just for fun. 18, 1, 16, 17, 1, 3, and 4. You're gonna drop all these will be zeros, probably put 2 zeros down, and then 9, 8, 1, 2, and now I'm getting all messed up here, but I'll go 8, 7, 2, 3, 2, 2. How many decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your answer is either going to be $22.32 or $22.33. Which one and why? Megan Cedillo, which one will it be? Why?
Because you have to round up if it's wrong. But it's
Which
local,
digits? What digit am I looking at?
the two.
Huh?
The two.
Well, this, so if this is, huh?
The 7.
Yeah, this is the one we don't have in money, but it tells us if this is 5 or above, it's closer to one more penny there, and it is. So this ends up being 22.33. Whoa. Kelsey,
Can you do the 14?
ladies and gentlemen, 14 is on the table. The one that I've already done, because I won't do it again. Oh, yeah, this is, I'm surprised other people didn't ask me for this. There was a long discussion over here. Now, why is this an irrational number? It's an irrational number because this is not a triple. This does not fall there, but somebody might say it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. It is not. The first two numbers given are always the two legs. That's why this says short, medium. For this to be a 3, 4, 5, the 5 would have to be over here. So if that doesn't work out, then you have to do it the hard way. And the hard way is actually using the formula, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And these are your a's and b's. The two legs form the a's and the b's. The hypotenuse is always the c squared. So it ends up being 3 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared, which is 9 plus 25 is c squared. What is 9 plus 25? 34. Here is where people kind of go into trouble, okay? Oh, okay. I thought you were laughing at me for some reason. Here, you want to know what c is. You don't want to know what c squared is. So the same rule applies for this as it does for all equation. What is the opposite of squaring something? Taking its square root. So you need to take the square root of both sides, because the square root of c squared, what number times itself gives you c squared? C. And you can't simplify that anymore. That's why it's an irrational number. Okay, there is no perfect square of 34, so that's why this was your answer. It does not work out. It gives you some long decimal that goes on forever. You could get close to it. Close to square root of 34, Gavin, would be what? What number is square root of 34 close to? It is close to 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. It's a little less than 6, if you will. Riley Herod. Oh, good, Riley, because you give me a chance, because I bet we're at like at least 7 times. Anybody know what I'm going to say? A fraction in front of a letter means you flip and multiply. So this is as easy as this is. You have 1/2 x equals 2/7. You flip and multiply by that fraction, because that makes that cross out. You multiply the other side by the same thing, and you end up with 4/7. Flip and multiply. A fraction in front. And that works because, yes, this is multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So what's the rule when you divide by a fraction? You flip and multiply. So we just kind of skipped all that. G. Harding. Well, we are on some sort of a buster rule here. Why don't you do the whole thing? Well, number 12, we're going back to that same, what was that? You kind of need to do, wait. Oh, a 30-inch. So you wrote the 30-inch diameter wheel. Anytime you're looking for the distance a circle travels, it is its circumference. And what is the formula for circumference? Pi times diameter. And this is a 30-inch diameter. So you're just taking 3.14 times 30. Who asked me that? Grace, where'd you go wrong on that? So times 30, you get 94.2 inches.
How about is it pi r squared?
That's area. So that's one thing to keep in your notes. Circumference is this. This is distance, how far. The other one is how many squares. 94.2. Suze!
Can you do number 16?
16. Did we do 16 already?
No.
Perfect. What's it mean to expand? What property expands? Going once, going twice, going 3 times? What? The distributive property. I'm taking -3 and multiplying it by both of those. -3 times x is -3x, and a -3 times a +2 is a -6. Just that squeezy. Sophia? Sophia, number 5. Just making a table, what am I doing for 5? 2. If one marble is drawn from a bag, apparently it tells me, I might as well do number 4. A bag contains marbles, only red marbles and blue marbles in the ratio of 3 to 2. I'm just going to do 4, so because you have to do that. Here was the deal for 4. You know the ratio of your marbles, ratio and actual. You're comparing reds to blues. if there are 3 reds for every 2 blues, and you have 24 red marbles, how many blues are there? 3 times 8, 2 times 8 is 16. So that's the answer for 4. B, or 5, asks for, if 1 marble is drawn from the bag, what's the probability it is blue? The probability of a blue marble is the number of blue marbles times the total marbles in the bag. How many blue marbles are there? 16. How many total marbles would there be if you have 24 and 16? 40. So there's your probability. It just needs to be reduced. Divide them both by 8, you get 2 over 5. Did I get that right? I should take this test. Your thoughts, Natalie? Yeah? Oh boy. You guys want to arm wrestle for it? Kelsey?
Can you do 18?
Number 18, same thing we talked about before. This is order of operations. Say I have to simplify the top down and then divide it by the bottom. And then the order of operations, you have to do this first. What is the square root of 25 minus 16? You don't take the square root of 25 and then the square root of 16. You actually do what's under this first. What is 25 minus 16? 9. And then the square root of 9 is 3. Then you have negative 5 plus 3. If you have 5 negatives and 3 positives, you have more negatives by how many? 2. So you end up with a negative 2 over 2. 1 negative makes it negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. Negative 1. Are we getting close to the end? Great toast.
You tell me.
Who?
20?
I did 20 already, didn't
No.
I? Oh, Gavin. Tell me what you did, Gab. What did you do first? Did you write them all at once or did you go one at a time?
I did one at a time.
So you did 1/4 plus 1/2?
Yeah.
And the common denominator is 4, right?
Yeah.
This is 1/4 and that is 2/4, which gives you 3/4. Then you take 3/4 and add 5/6. Common denominator, G?
24.
Yeah, let's do 24, but 12 would have been simpler, but we can do 24, we just have to reduce it. 6 times 4, 5 times 4, 4 times 6.
18.
3 times 6 is 18. Yeah, what's 18 plus 20?
38.
Is that what you got?
38.
You have to still simplify that. First of all, it's improper, but that doesn't matter. You can reduce it, cut them both in half, you get 19 over 12. Did I do that just because you didn't reduce?
No, I did 38 divided by 24 at the end.
So you got 1 and 7/12, so 1.56 or something like that, or?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to all that work. I would just leave it as an improper fraction. So D, oh,
Is it fine if you made it
1 and 7/12, yeah. Perfectly okay. The book actually gave both of those answers. Have we come to the end of our rainbow? With so much time to go, and so little time to do it in. Let's look inside. Nothing over Lena and Harold. Nobody has trouble with team winning or losing 6% of the reduced fraction. Edges, the speed of light, standard form. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. All right. Then, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me see what we got here. What is this? 7th grade? Let me look. For whatever time is left, I have a test note for you. But if you'd be so kind as to, let me see what this is. Uh-oh. Why am I not getting anywhere here? Oh, yeah. 10 minutes of IXL. If you work hard, I won't make it a homework assignment. But if you don't and you goof off, I will make it assigned so fast that your head's going to spin.